All right, I think we're live. We're live. I think the lighting might need a bit work, but that's all good. Close enough. All right. Welcome to the live stream. Just waiting for game to start here between Idaho and Montana. It's 8:30 Pacific. I think the game doesn't start for another 10 minutes here. So I'll be with you the whole game from start to finish. In case you don't know, my name is Ian McNaughton, Big E. Thank you very much for joining. This is our SYP Starch Madness live stream. We're going to be live streaming Idaho, Montana, Big Sky Men's Conference Basketball Tournament. So enjoy. Gonna make sure I'm somewhat adjusted here. Looking set. Looking somewhat fly. Got to get the word out that we are out now. That we are up. So give you a few seconds here as we tune into that. So nice. Hopefully there's not too much feedback. Okay. So yeah, we're getting ready here. We're still a few minutes away from the game starting. So no immediate rush. Go put the word out. Don't even know that anybody's in yet. See, this is the problem. I need a person to do both. This is what happens when you're a one-man show. You have to do social, you have to do the content, you have to do production. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'll be honest. Well, we're getting by. We're figuring it out. I mean, the game hasn't even started yet, so like, what are we worried about? What are we too concerned with, to be honest? So, uh, again, I think we're about 8 minutes away from game time, but I promised an 8:30 p.m. start time on the live stream. So, yeah, that's a little better. I think, kind of a little bit more light. So, yeah, whatever. I think it's part of the vibe, anyways. When you do like a stream like this, where it's like late at night, get out of there. Get. I think that is part of the not maybe sex appeal, but part of the draw is that it's 8:30 at night. It's kind of sicko mode hours. My time to shine. Uh, for if you are just tuning in, if you got any questions, be sure to subscribe. Subscribers get the chat. See how much chatting there actually is. But I'll be with you for the whole game. I'll be here from start to finish, getting set. I think I'm gonna just again post more on social and then just do more chat of more of this sort of stuff. I think that's the goal. This is more engaging, maybe. Maybe we'll do something again on Friday. Maybe that's the plan. I got to figure out what games on Friday I want to stream. If there's anything worthwhile to stream or watch. Actually, my camera's not as bad. That was my biggest worry. Was my camera was going to be kind of shit or kind of bad. I don't know if I could swear. See if there's anything good on Friday. Or maybe Saturday morning. Rugby sevens. Rugby sevens into like America East Championship would be fun. That could be cool. There's potential. It might be a Saturday thing, maybe Saturday in the morning. Could be fun. Could be interesting. Yeah, that's basically again still waiting. 5 minutes till tip off. Idaho playing Montana. Idaho beat Eastern Washington. I think I heard in one of the earlier games tonight somebody mentioned that Idaho uh, hasn't been in the tournament in like 30 years, 35 years. Kind of crazy. Gonna get my Do I think it's kind of awkward doing? Oh, I think we got somebody in, but yeah, I mean, we're still waiting for the game here, and now I gotta, do the social. It's kind of awkward again, being the host and then trying to do both hands. I don't like the dead air, but that's okay. And that person's gone. Um, the thing about doing a live stream in front of 0 people is that it's kind of like doing it. It's like doing stand up for nobody because then you're not really doing stand up, right? Um, in a way, I guess I'm doing the show. It's what I promised. But when there's nobody, tuning in, now there might be a few, but when you're streaming for 0 people, you're streaming for 0 people. When you're doing stand up, for nobody, doing stand up for nobody, you don't need to do that. You can go somewhere else. So few people coming in. Again, we're just waiting for the start of the Big Sky Championship between Idaho and Montana. About 3 minutes away here from the start. I don't know why it's an 8:40 Pacific, 9:40 Mountain start. It's got to be on ESPN2 or like it's got big network vibes because otherwise I would just think you start the game at 9:30 like they originally promised, and then we wouldn't worry about it. But what do I know? What do I know? See if my water's down here. I think I forgot to got it. I forgot to grab it. Oh well. So again, if you want to chat, please subscribe. Any subscribers is greatly appreciated. I think I'm gonna do some incentives for subscribers. I think that's the goal. I'm gonna get some, get some figures up and you know do something to reward the fans. That's the end goal. That's the move, I think. So still waiting for the start of this game. Who is in the American East, by the way? I'll know. I know tomorrow the men's tournament if I want to stream on Saturday. Oh, apparently it's going to be Vermont and UMBC. UMBC, that's the Baltimore County, right? I think UMBC beat, yeah, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. They beat Virginia as a 16 seed. Well, Virginia was number 1 seed. UMBC was a 16 seed, and UMBC upset them. So it could be interesting. I think Vermont made it last year. I think they played Arkansas. So that might be the vibe on another stream on Saturday, maybe. We'll have to see. See how this one goes. If anybody joins or decides to chat or say something. But I mean, it's been a great week. Yeah, because I went to the movies yesterday, but doing a lot of March Madness streaming. Was watching Wake Forest Clemson earlier. That was a decent game. Clemson kind of annihilating Wake Forest, not totally surprising. So any minute, we should be getting Montana, Idaho. Waiting on the stream here. Any minute. But I mean, the Big Sky even has been pretty good. The Idaho Eastern Washington game I watched last night in preparation for this was pretty good. Pretty back and forth. Eastern Washington just driving to the hoop a lot, trying to get fouls, get some free throws. Weren't necessarily converting on those free throws, but that was their strategy. Meanwhile, Idaho was just banking a bunch of threes. Idaho was crushing it. So Guess this game will start any minute. I think it was allegedly supposed to start after Clemson, Wisconsin ended, which I don't know how that game turned out. I'm assuming Clemson won, considering Wake Forest was down by like 10 or 15. I don't think Wake Forest was making it close. Yeah, just waiting for the stream to start so I can at least live react to that. There's some other things I'll discuss later on as we get into this, as we get settled. But I mean, Starch Madness. What's better than March Madness? Maybe Starch Madness. It's funny, these games are in Boise, which I mean, it's like southern Idaho for those who don't know. Uh, Boise is like nowhere near the University of Idaho. It's like a 5-hour drive. Here we go. Now we got going. You can also watch along however you watch along. I'm in Canada, so I'm watching on TSN Plus. Yeah, like Idaho was playing Eastern Washington, and it's much closer for Idaho to go to Eastern Washington than it is for Idaho to go to Boise. It was like a 5-hour drive from the University of Idaho to Boise where the games are, and then it's like an hour and a half from Moscow out of Idaho, which is where Idaho is, to Eastern Washington. I'm sure people really give a shit about that. 3-3. Montana has a dude named Money Williams, which is sick. That's pretty cool. I can't lie. So, yeah. So I think before tonight or before this game, there was like 14 teams that had clinched their spot in the March Madness tournament. It was on the men's side, which is sick. So a lot of the, I want to say, underdogs, the mid majors, all get their tournaments done early, out of the way. Guys can then rest and get their players ready for the tournament. I don't mind teams like Idaho and Montana going midweek. So see if Idaho get a bucket here. 5-3 Montana. Obviously it's been a busy week sports wise. NHL trade deadline last week, NFL free agency last week. I'm going to discuss a little bit of each of that going on. World Baseball Classic, by the way. Maybe that's what I should stream on Friday, is Canada playing the U.S. I don't know if there's a time for that to be determined. But Canada's playing the U.S. in the World Baseball Classic quarterfinals. Let's see what the schedule is for that. Time for Team Canada to right some wrongs from losing in hockey to now hopefully winning in baseball. Canada beat Cuba 7-2 today. Jesus. Yeah, Friday night. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I could be down for that. Could be. I could be into that. That's my Friday night, is watching Canada USA quarters baseball. I don't know how the format of all that goes. Like, I don't know if how do I say? I don't know if Paul Skeens gets to start for Team USA. He should. I would like to think Paul Skeens gets to start, but I don't know who for Canada. I don't know Canada's roster well enough. I know they have Josh Naylor, his brother Bo Naylor. Those are the Canadian guys I know. I think maybe Owen Casey is a Cubs guy who got traded to Miami in the offseason. So maybe Canada pulls off the upset. I don't know. Seems like this U.S. team is not that good, but maybe Team Italy is just better. Like, Team Italy just beat Mexico today. They beat USA the other day. I think Team Italy maybe is the team to be at the World Baseball Classic. Who knows? They got the espresso shots after they hit dingers, which is rough because Vinny Pascantino, the guy who plays for the Royals, playing for Team Italy, had like 3 dingers tonight, so he got 3 espresso shots, which I do that in a day, but he hits 3 home runs. And he can have 3 espresso shots. Sure, okay, woo, crazy. So USA Canada again Friday night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. Maybe I'll watch. I don't know. Who's to say? We're going to PTI now on the stream. Showing ESPN News for whatever reason. I'm watching on TSN Plus, so I don't know what's going on with TSN Plus. Showing Rich Hill highlights, which I'm not opposed to Rich Hill highlights because they apparently did Happy Birthday Rich Hill on PTI today, which rocks. But I don't know. Yeah, so maybe we'll do a Friday night stream with Canada US. Canada US World Baseball Classic. I don't know if any good hockey on Friday night. Don't know if there's any college hoops. Friday night might be a stream. We'll see. Still getting PTI. Yeah, Habs beat the Sens tonight. Flyers beat the Caps. Friday night games. Only 2 games on Friday. Kings Islanders, Oilers Blues. Yeah. Could be okay. Either one of those games. I mean, I don't know. I think I'll get into the hockey, I guess, part of it now, part of the live stream. The Oilers kind of had an underwhelming trade deadline, if I'm honest. They really needed to get a genuine goalie, and I know they just did the Jari trade, which I guess hindsight's 2020. But part of Stuart Skinner's identity was him being an Oiler, and now he's kind of stinky. Well, actually, Skinner's having a good season. Jari's not having a good year, which I guess we all kind of expected that maybe when they made the trade. I still think if you're the Oilers, you should have made another trade. Like you should have got another goalie, whether it was Bennington, somebody else. I don't know. Should have got another goalie. So the Oilers missed out at the deadline. I think everybody around them got better, and I mean that in like the Western Conference teams, like the Avs, the Wild, the Stars. I think all of them got better. The Oilers didn't really like they. I guess they got Mangiapane, or they got rid of Mangiapane. They brought in Dickinson, which is fine. Brought in Colton Dock, who I don't know if he's going to be healthy enough to continue. And that's kind of about it. I think that was the last for the Oilers. The Avs obviously got Nazem Kadri. The Wild got somebody now. I can't remember. The Wild made some moves. Stars got Tyler Myers. So I think each team in the Central got better, which is just going to be an absolute street fight. Like I think what the Central Division is going to be this year in the playoffs in the NHL Central Division is a tables and ladders and chairs match that like the Hardy Bros, Edge and Christian, and who am I missing in that? The Dudley Boys. I think that's what the Central Division is going to be this year in the postseason. It's just going to be TLC, Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys. That's what that's going to be. The Pacific, I think is still a bit underwhelming. Vegas didn't really do anything of note, I should say. The Oilers are okay. The Ducks got John Carlson, which is not nothing. So congrats to the Ducks. That's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know if it totally solves their needs on defense. It definitely improves it, but it don't know if it solves it. The Sharks signed Kiefer Sherwood to a huge deal. He got like 5 years and 5 something AAV, which is a little bit more your AAV that I want for Kiefer Sherwood. A few more years and I would give Kiefer Sherwood, but I give credit to the Sharks for at least going after a guy that they think could be a top 6 forward and just giving him the contract. They seem to like him, I guess. Otherwise, I don't think they would give him the extension. The Kings obviously went in with Panarin. They lost Fiala at the Olympics. They got rid of Corey Perry. They got rid of Deneau earlier in the year. The Kings, I think they're they're hoping to get to the playoffs. I don't think they think they're going to get to the playoffs. So I think they're kind of out. The Kraken obviously got Bobby McMahon, which is fine, I guess. Like I don't know how Bobby McMahon is going to fit in with the Kraken. My thing with the Kraken is that if they just realize, if they ever figure out that they can go after great, like exceptional players, high end players, instead of the like Mason Marchmans and the Bobby McMahons and the Jaden Schwartzes of the world. No offense to all those guys, they're fine players, but they're middle six guys. Like they're not high end guys who will sell jerseys, guys who will get people to show up, like give people a reason to go watch their games. The Kraken have never really had that guy, and once they get those guys, and once they realize they could trade for them, anything's possible. Anything is possible. Um, the Flames dealt everybody as they should. They're obviously on McKenna watch. Maybe they'll get him. Maybe they won't. I think they made a good decision trading Kadri, trading Uyghur. They did what they had to do. That's the deal with the Flames. Um, Yeah, that's kind of pretty much the Pacific. Trying to think if I'm missing anybody. Talked about Edmonton. Oh, the Canucks are dog shit anyway, so I don't think they really matter. They probably should have done more, but they just weren't, because why would anybody be interested in Evander Kane? Why would anybody? I mean, they got rid of Garland, which is good, I guess. They needed to. Um, they got rid of Myers, which I guess they probably could have traded more guys, but it's the Canucks. Who really cares? Um, they're going to be on McKenna watch. I think it would be hilarious if Gavin McKenna just pulled a like Eli Manning or an Eric Lindros, I guess, to make it a hockey specific, and was just like, no, I don't want to play for Vancouver. I think that'd be really funny. I think he should consider it, because I think Calgary is at least closer to being competitive than Vancouver is. Same, the all the teams that are more competitive. Like Vancouver has the worst situation. The Blackhawks are more competitive. The Preds are. The Blues, the Flames, all those teams are let's say closer to winning a cup than the Canucks are. I'll just say it. I think Gavin, he's got to pull an Eric Lindros and say he's not playing for the Canucks. He doesn't want to go to Vancouver. Although I don't know, because back in the day, or back at the time, I think the Eric Lindros thing was like he just didn't want to speak in a French speak. You didn't want to play in a French speaking market, I think it was, or something stupid like that. Like, if I remember correctly, Eric Lindros very anti francophone, and I don't know what the modern day equivalent is for Gavin McKenna. Like I don't know what the next step is for him, how he can say he doesn't want to go to Vancouver. Maybe he just hates the rain. Maybe Gavin McKenna's like anti-rain. I hate the rain. I don't want to play in Vancouver, which is ridiculous, but it's also objectively fun. Like it's also an objectively funny reason as to why you're not going to the Canucks, or why you don't want to play in Vancouver. So, uh, other teams, I'll say as a Red Wings fan, the Red Wings were okay. They got Justin Falk, which is fine, I guess. Not the best move in terms of like having a future guy, but he's fine. He's kind of like John Carlson, and like it just kind of fits what the Red Wings are trying to do right now and fill that hole. And listen, I think it's better than Ben Sherratt and better than Justin Hall, who I know hasn't been playing in Detroit, but they were trying to use Justin Hall at one point. Like you have Edvidson, Seider. I'm high on Sandy Pellica, so I think the Red Wings are in a good spot. They just can't have. It might be rude to call him a liability, but like Ben Sherratt, you can't rely on him to play however many amount of minutes that they were before. So, by the way, on the Idaho Montana game on the Starch Madness, I think we're back to it. We're getting a Sky Rizzy ad, which I don't even know what Sky Rizzy is, and I obviously don't want to turn up the volume in case there's a copyright infringement. But looks like I can get symptom relief and provide proven to help visibly repair damage. I don't know. I don't know anything about Sky Rizzy. I just don't think it's necessary. But maybe maybe somebody's using Sky Rizzy and it's great. But I think we're back to ESPN too. We're not on ESPN News anymore. So other teams, so like the Red Wings, I think fine. Steve Eisenman's going to Steve Eisenman as a GM. The Maple Leafs stink. They probably should have traded more guys. They didn't. They're kind of laughable. I like to see them. I want to see them finish last. The Maple Leafs are the team. I I love to see Toronto and Vancouver finish 1-2 bottom of the standings, and then like the Flames win the draft lottery, or like who else do I want to see win the draft lottery? I don't know if there's any other team that I want to see because all the teams that I'm kind of interested in are in a playoff spot. I don't know, maybe LA. LA, if LA won the draft lottery and Vancouver and Toronto finished first and second worst, like last and second last, I think it'd be hilarious if like the Kings came out of nowhere and won the draft lottery. That'd be great. Update Starch Madness. Idaho 16, Montana 8. So Idaho with a bigger lead. Idaho's the number 7th ranked team in this seeded ranked, whatever you want to call team in this tournament in the Big Sky because they have a 9-9 conference record. Montana 10-8 conference record. So one win is this difference of 3 spots. Crazy. It shows how much parity there is in the Big Sky Conference. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Maple Leafs stink. I think the Sens. I mean, I don't know if the Sens won tonight. I can't imagine that the Sens are going to make the playoffs, but I haven't seen what the standings are recently. Habs beat the Sens. There you go, 3-2. Yeah, the Senators are 5 points back of a wild card spot, so I don't think the Sens are going to do it. Blue Jackets are 2 spots back, or 2 points back. So the Blue Jackets theoretically could, but I don't know that they will. Also, I guess the Rangers are going to finish way worse than the Leafs. I need Toronto to get on the tanking a little bit more. I need Toronto to get on the tank train at Union Station. Islanders are going to make the playoffs. Islanders and Red Wings have the same amount of points this year, which is kind of crazy. The Penguins are OT merchants, which is also hilarious. See, every team in the Eastern Conference in the NHL in the playoffs right now has a positive points difference or positive goals difference, excuse me, except for the Red Wings. The Red Wings have a -2 goal differential. Don't love that. Would have loved if the Red Wings maybe added a goalie. I know Gibson's injured, so I don't know how healthy he is. But yeah, like if the playoffs started today in the NHL, you have Tampa Bay playing Montreal, sick as hell. You have the Penguins playing the Islanders, also sick as hell. You have the Buffalo Sabres playing the Detroit Red Wings, sick as hell. Carolina playing Boston would be fun. And that's just in the East. Like we're not even getting into like the Western Conference, which Dallas is probably going to play Minnesota. Colorado is going to play either Seattle, LA, San Jose, Nashville. Those are probably the 4 teams that the Kings are going to play or that the Avs are going to play, which, I mean, a Colorado San Jose series with Macklin and Celebrini would kick ass. Vegas playing Utah would be fun. Edmonton and Anaheim would also just be a street fight. A lot of fun matchups in the NHL in the first round. So, we'll see how that all plays out. The NHL season goes on for way too long. like the NHL season, I think still goes on for like another month, which is kind of insane. Yeah. So the last day of regular season games right now is April 16th. Like we still have another month of regular season hockey. I I need like instead of adding another game into the NHL regular season, I need them to take like 2 weeks off the season. Like I don't think we need the extra 2 weeks because I remember last year I was so ready for like NHL playoffs, and then I then learned there's still 2 weeks left in the regular season. That's absurd. That's insane. That's asinine, really. Just get us to the playoffs. That's all we're here for. We've all done the regular season. We all know who's good and who isn't. Just do the regular season. Idaho leading 20-10 with 9:19 left to go. I'll have everybody know I had a nice roast that I cooked at home for dinner. So that was my uh, recognition shout out to Montana, and then with Idaho, I had a baked potato. So that was good. Yeah, there's a little bit better. See my glasses. Go backwards hat. 20 to 12. Nice. Yeah, again, Idaho hasn't been in this tournament in like 30 years. So, or I shouldn't say in this tournament, hasn't been in the final in like 30 years, which is crazy. Um, we'll see if they can hold on and win. That'd be kind of cool. Supporting the potato state, Idaho. So, again, for those who are just tuning in, thank you very much. My name is Ian McNaughton, Big E. This is the SYP Starch Madness tournament final live stream, where basically reacting, watching along to Idaho play Montana in the Big Sky Conference Tournament men's basketball final, talking about sports, discussing the game, reacting to it, reacting to other things. If you got anything that you'd like to say, please subscribe. You can put it in chat at any time. It's greatly appreciated. Love the support. Can't say enough great things. Uh, Big foul in Idaho there. I was gonna say I have not played pickup basketball in so long. That guy's got a cool face mask. Um, I haven't played pickup hoops in so long. I'd love to go play hoops with the bros again. That'd be fun. It'd be sick as hell. I love when I play with most of the guys back home because most of the guys I play with are also hockey guys, and I feel like hockey guys bring a level of intensity and energy to pick up hoops that just the basketball guys don't usually have, and it's great. Like it's like 90s basketball. It's like watching like the Knicks and the Pistons play each other in the early 90s. It's sick. We're not calling fouls. We're physical as hell, and guys are willing to lay it out on the line. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm all about. None of this, big 3-point shooting, you know, looking fancy, looking cool for the camera. Nah. We're here to ball. We're here to grind. We're here to make some magic happen in the paint. All that good stuff. Montana going to the free throw line. Nuggets are beating the Rockets 106-78. That's insane. I mean, I don't think the Rockets are that good. Even though I thought the Rockets were supposed to be good this year with KD and like the young core, but I don't know what's going on. Don't look at me. Free throw good. It's now 20-14 for Idaho. Montana's deficit cut down to 6. Never actually been to Boise. I've been to Idaho. Idaho's a solid state. Been to Montana. I love Montana. I'd love to go back to Montana if I'm honest. Also, North Dakota, next to Montana. Fun state. Highly recommend if you get the chance. Go see some of the Big Sky country. It is some of the most beautiful country that you will see. There's some beautiful ridges, nice hills. You haven't lived until you've seen a wild horse just running down the countryside. You're just going by. You're like that's what life's all about, man. That's what we're here for. Just majestic, really. Feels like you're in a movie sometimes. See if Idaho can make a little bit happen. It is pouring outside, pouring and windy. Oh my god, what a save for Idaho. Although I think this guy just got hurt. There's a foul on Montana. Just runs to the corner, saves it. Idaho guy got fouled by the Montana guy. That's crazy how that turned into a went from like should have been almost Montana ball to Idaho gets possession after a foul. It's kind of crazy, kind of sick. That's just big sky basketball. That's just dudes laying out on the line because it's March. They know what they got to do. 2 points in the paint for Idaho. I see. That's what I love about college basketball too. I love the fact that college basketball, you can still dictate the game in the paint. And I mean, I know Jokic still exists, and there are some guys in the NBA who could do that. But I just love it. I love a big man, a BMOC who just has a solid post work. You know, gets into the elbow and just goes to work, gets 2 points, takes some contact, draws a foul, gets a free throw. Can't complain. That's what I love. 22-19. God, Montana is coming back here. Real Madrid over Man City at the Champions League today. That's kind of funny. PSG over Chelsea. I don't think Man City's doing that good this year. I don't know enough about football or soccer to know for sure, but I don't think Man City's doing that well. Bucket for Idaho. There's 2 more points. I don't know if I got any plans really at the half or anything else huge to discuss. I mean, we talked about World Baseball Classic. We talked about hockey. NFL free agency obviously has been going on this week. I'm, as a Seahawks fan, kind of okay with all the stuff that went on. Tariq Woolen, he's gone. Kenneth Walker, gone. The the Woolen signing, I'm a little disappointed with. Like, I kind of wish. I mean, I wish they kept all the guys, if I'm honest. But Woolen, I just I don't know at like 15 mil a year that they were going to be able to keep him. I think they could probably find 3/4 of that, of his production at a cheaper price level. That's probably the same with Walker. Like they're gonna probably use a draft pick on a running back later on. That's my prediction for the Seahawks. They'll draft like a corner and a running back, and that's gonna be the Woolen and Walker replacement. I think it's going to commercial. I saw it was 24-22 for Idaho. Missing Santa Barbara versus UC Davis in the Big West tournament. Missing all the action tonight. But yeah, no, I mean, I think the Seahawks are going to be okay. Like, I'm just stoked that they won the Super Bowl. If I'm perfectly honest, like I'm thrilled they won the Super Bowl, and that means more to me. Like, I hope those guys they go chase a bag, they go do their own thing somewhere else. But I mean, we'll always have that Super Bowl. So yeah, who am I? Who am I to judge on Kenneth Walker taking a bunch of money and going to Casey? I'm not me. And who am I to judge on Tariq Woolen taking a bunch of money to go play for the Eagles? I I'm I think the Eagles are going to give him like 3 weeks. I mean, that's the thing about Reek is that he will, you know, cross the line. I'll just put it politely. He'll cross the line sometimes, and I think most times the Seahawks fans are cool with it. It got to a point though, I will say, with like DK last year, not the year that Seahawks won the Super Bowl, like the year before with DK, where like DK would like take a 15-yard unsportsman like once a game, and it's like, dude, you don't need to do this every game. I can't stress this to you enough. You don't need to do it every game. And I mean, I know it's not every game with Woolen. It just felt like every game. And obviously, he had that moment in the NFC Championship game where he got like the fourth down stop, and then had the 15-yard taunting penalty towards, I think it was Chris Shula, the Rams DC. And it's just like, buddy, you just not right there. And I don't think Eagles fans are going to put up with that. I mean, Seahawks fans are fairly forgiving, but the Eagles fans, the people of Philadelphia, are not. They're going to be on him. So there's my hot take there with Tariq Woolen. Um, I did see today that Kyler Murray might go play for the Cardinals or go play for the Vikings, formerly of the Cardinals. Yeah. That's kind of cool. I hope they keep JJ McCarthy as well. I hope that doesn't mean that they're giving up on JJ, because I still think he has something. Like I still hope he has, something to show. He's still motivated, and I hope the Vikings don't give up on him just yet. But who knows? I don't know who Arizona's going to get at quarterback. No clue. I thought I saw that they're maybe interested in like Jimmy Garoppolo, which, if that's the truth, lol, that's funny. But the Cardinals are just a sad social experiment on how long people can deal with suffering. And so far, the social experiment's winning. They're still Cardinals fans. I know like a couple Cardinals fan. It's crazy whenever I see people with Cardinals merch out in public. I'm like, you guys are seriously supporting that team? You guys are putting your time and energy behind that team? It's wild, man. Absolutely wild. Montana with their first lead of the game, 25-24. Again, Montana, I don't know if Montana should win because Idaho has a better overall record, but Montana is one game better in conference. So it could go either way. Who's to say? Really defensive game, I will say. So, and then I mean, those are the big thoughts I have to free agency. Obviously, Travis Kelsey is coming back for another year, which I think to most football fans, we're all just saying that Travis Kelsey needs to retire and be a family man, which I guess maybe this is helping the family, is getting paid like an extra $15 million to be the number 3 receiver on your team. 3 for Idaho. No good. So I don't know. I guess Idaho is maybe going to get back in the lead here. But with Travis Kelsey, it's just like, go be a family man, dude. You don't need to go play for the Chiefs. You don't need to, you know, run around, do nothing, and go 8-9 and miss the playoffs again. You're good, buddy. You don't need to do that. So now a 3-point game. Montana on an 8-0 run in the last 2:30. Good for Montana. 4 minutes left in the first half. Again, I am surprised this game is starting so late. It's got to be for TV purposes, because this is like an 8:30 p.m. Pacific time for a tip off is kind of nuts, if I'm honest. By the way, your other World Baseball Classic quarterfinals: Venezuela, Japan, Puerto Rico, Italy. There is like a not zero chance right now that it is possible Italy wins the World Baseball Classic and doesn't even make the World Cup, which would be hilarious. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. I mean, not necessarily. I'd like to see Canada win the World Baseball Classic, but I just love the chaos of it. Free throws for Montana. But yeah, I don't know. The USA team at this World Baseball Classic has been just so wonky. You know what I mean? Like they're so like they're trying to be good, but they're also like trying to cosplay Team USA at the Olympics for hockey of like making it somewhat political because I don't know what the exact shirt was that Cal Raleigh had, but it was basically like a war quote, and it's like, buddy, you don't need to be doing this. It's not necessarily Cal. So I don't know. Team USA at the World Baseball Classic, it's just weird. It just feels like they're trying to cosplay, you know, the U.S. men's team at the hockey team at the Olympics. Hopefully Canada beats them. That'd be sick. Josh Naylor showing up. I'm trying to think of what jersey because Josh Naylor shows up in like hockey jerseys, right? I'm trying to think of who Josh Naylor could wear. That'd be funny or cool. If he showed up in a Macklin Celebrini jersey, that would be good. Or Sidney Crosby. Or Nate Dogg. Or McDavid. That'd be fun. A McDavid jersey. Josh Naylor has some options if he wants to wear a funny Canada jersey. And not funny, but an ironic Canada jersey on Friday. At the Capital One commercials going. Samuel L. Jackson, Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson. In the Pizza Hut. All the right stuff here. I was gonna say I was at the rugby sevens this weekend. That was interesting. Rugby sevens in Vancouver. Uh, Lowest attendance at a Vancouver sevens tournament since it existed. I think this is like the 11th year. I mean, obviously there was a couple COVID years in there that kind of screwed with attendance, but yeah, not great at sevens, unfortunately. The rugby was really good. I thought the rugby was high quality, but it was just unfortunate seeing some people not show up who might have in past years. And I don't know if that's a cost thing. I just I'm sure it's a tough time financially. It's a lot of money to swing for a weekend, and food and drink are not cheap at BC Place. Ooh, a bit of a hard foul. Yeah, it's not easy to obviously swing that for a whole weekend. To feel like you're getting your bang for your buck. But I mean, I had fun at sevens. It's my favorite sporting atmosphere in Vancouver. I honestly enjoy it more than any Canucks game. I mean, I haven't been to a Whitecaps game in years. I haven't been to the Lions in forever. So I guess maybe I need to update my, sports in person experience. But I really enjoy sevens. I really enjoy the costumes. I really enjoy the people, and it's unfortunate when there isn't the people like there was this year. It's just takes away from some of the fun of years past. But kudos to the South Africa men's team and the New Zealand women's team. The New Zealand women's team in rugby sevens are insane because New Zealand sevens women like they've won 95% of their matches in Canada. Like their record is insane in Canada. Like they are so good. It's insane. So the sevens this weekend is gonna be in New York. And I don't know, I kind of want to stream that, but that goes on basically all day. And I don't know that I have that time on Saturday. But and it's not even really necessarily in New York. It's more New Jersey because it's at the Red Bull Stadium. So, everybody's gonna get their photos in New York City and all that jazz and cool that you got your photo op. But I mean, it's not New York, it's New Jersey. Like it's yeah, it's the Coyotes being called the Phoenix Coyotes and they're playing Glendale. Like you're not in Phoenix. I guess you're the Phoenix Metro team, but you're not actually in Phoenix. You're playing Glendale. So Montana still has a 3-point lead here, so it is kind of close. Nobody's really running away with this just yet. Yeesh. Iowa State doubled up Arizona State. Tough, tough loss. Yeah, and then I'm excited to see. Speaking of Vancouver sports or Vancouver events, I'm excited to see what AEW Dynasty is like. That's going to be almost a month from now, actually, April 12th, which that should be really fun. I'm really looking forward to attending that and seeing how that goes. They have AEW Dynamite and Collision in Winnipeg, I believe, Wednesday, April 1st, and then Dynamite Collision in Edmonton, Wednesday, April 8th. So that's kind of the two shows that are leading up to the big show in Vancouver. And that big show in Vancouver should be really fun. I haven't been to a wrestling show in Vancouver, so I'm really excited to check that out and see how that goes. Idaho back in the lead, 30-29. But I mean, they just had a dynamite tonight in where were they tonight? San Jose, AEW, and it was a good show. I didn't like their ending per se. The you know their ending for their for the go home show as they call it, because AEW's got a pay per view on Sunday. The go home show tonight was kind of It was not the show itself was good. The ending was I should say it like that. Not my favorite ending, but otherwise the matches were good. Otherwise you know promos were good. They had the weird MJF Hangman press conference thing, and it was hosted by Brian Danielson. It was fine. It was okay. I don't know. Wasn't what I guess I thought it was gonna be. That's just my only really gripe from an otherwise really good AEW show tonight. So we'll see how AEW does when they come to Vancouver on Sunday, April 12th for Dynasty. Tied 30-30 here. Got a minute 20 left in the first half. I think Montana's shooting another free throw. Making substitutions. I will say decent crowd for a Wednesday night in Boise. None of the teams are local. I mean, Idaho's in state, but again, they're a 5-hour drive. Nobody's local. Timeout here. That Idaho coach looks pretty young. Got better facial hair than I do. Hmm. And now we get a Discover ad. Wonderful. Yeah, and then I think this weekend we'll watch Revolution somewhere. I think I gotta work till like 5 on Sunday. And after that I'll go watch it somewhere. So that should be fun. I'm excited for this weekend. But yeah, then we'll have more SYP content coming up here soon. So excited for that. Should be good. There's the band, the cheerleaders, the Iowa Vandals. I think they're called. They're known as, which is fun. Montana's the Grizzlies, which I'm sure there's plenty of Grizzlies in Montana. I'm not necessarily sure what a vandal is. I'm guessing a somebody who commits vandalism. That's what I'm assuming a vandal is. Maybe they have a lot of that in Idaho. Maybe they have a crime problem in Idaho. Who's to say? But we're coming down to a minute left here in the first half, and Montana has a 1-point lead. This is for a spot in the timeout. That seems like a tough place for a timeout. I guess you got 3 left. Minute to go. Another TV timeout. Leverkusen tied Arsenal, Champions League. Cool beans, I guess. Yeah. And then I guess Lehigh beat Boston today. Yeah, for the Patriot League Championship. So Lehigh's going dancing. That's fun. Lehigh first tournament appearance is 2012. I think that tournament in 2012 was the one where Lehigh beat Duke, like upset Duke in like Greensboro, North Carolina, which kind of crazy that a team like Lehigh who plays in a Patriot League, like I don't know what they're spending on, you know, athletics compared to Duke basketball. So that's a crazy upset. Remember those Florida Gulf Coast teams? Those guys rock. Those guys were cool. Those guys made basketball fun. Fast break here for Idaho. So we're coming down to the end of the first half, and we're approaching an hour here on this stream. How about that? Ooh, good backing down your opponent, but you can't finish. That is unfortunate. Shot clock off for Montana. Have a 1 point lead. See how they go here. Killing a lot of time. High pick. Got the ISO. 10 seconds. Killing more time. Moving guys around. 5 seconds. Shot is up and it is no good and out of bounds. At the end of the first half, they're calling that the end of the first half. I guess they are. I thought that ball went out before then, but that's okay. Halftime, Montana 31, Idaho 30 in the Big Sky Championship. I guess I got more time to kill. And I hope my power doesn't go out because of the storm. It is raining and windy outside. I can see the branches going. I feel bad for the hummingbird that has a nest in the tree that's out front of my place. Cute little hummingbird. Call it Hummy. That's my fun fact of the night. All right, halftime. Lehigh defeated Boston in the Patriot League. The Nuggets blew out the Rockets tonight. I had a sirloin roast for dinner with mashed baked potato. That was a highlight for me today. Trying to think if there's another halftime report. Anything that's also interesting. Got for a walk today. It was piss and rain. That was really eventful. Speaking of eventful, looks like McNeese beat Stephen F. Austin, SFA. Yeah, that does not look like a very close game. Yeah, no, it's just we're halftime here. Montana up 31-30. McNeese won 76-59 or Stephen F. Austin. So now they're going to show who all the tickets punched. And we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 teams. You have Tennessee State, High Point, Northern Iowa, Queens University, North Dakota State, Furman, Troy, Hofstra, Long Island University, Wright State, Siena, and Graphic Chain before I could get them all. Long Island University. That's the most magical place on earth, according to MJF, who he'll be main eventing Revolution in a Texas death match this weekend with Hangman Adam Page. That should be fun. Very exciting, I'm sure. I don't know that Long Island is the most magical place in the world. I've personally never been, so I can't comment. However, I like to think there are nicer places than Long Island, New York. But who am I to go against MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman? I'm sure he knows everything. I would hate to go against him. So that is real exciting stuff. If you've been to Long Island, let us know in the chat. Subscribe and chat. Boom. There we go. If you're enjoying this stream, if you're liking this stream, give us a like bump. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying this. Basically just at halftime, waiting for the second half of the Big Sky Conference men's basketball tournament. And we are just about approaching 60 seconds or 60 minutes on this stream. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Been streaming for an hour. We're going at it for a whole 60 minutes. I think the show 60 minutes should be 60 minutes nonstop. None of this commercial, BS. When you promise something to somebody, you should deliver it. You should act on it. That's my hot take. That, that that's that's just, those are just my 2 cents on 60 Minutes. But that's just me. You know, I know 60 Minutes is not what it used to be, thanks to people running the United States of America. But 60 Minutes is 60 Minutes. You know, at least this hour is 22 minutes. They call it as it is. They're like, hey, this show you're about to watch is 22 minutes long. Otherwise, there's gonna be commercials. I appreciate that. They're being upfront. They're being honest. 60 minutes. I think I'm getting a 60-minute show. I'm not. I'm getting 48 minutes, 44 minutes plus commercials or whatever it is. Kind of bullshit. I think it's wrong. That's just me. We're still at halftime here. Not in Boise. Sitting watching this game in Victoria on the island in the wind and the rain. And I don't need a real hair growth starter kit, but thank you, Bosley or whoever that was, Brosley. Now we're doing a bubble watch here on ESPN Dose. Cincinnati versus UCF. Oh yeah, so the Big 12 has, I don't know, maybe you guys have seen it. The Big 12, they have a court at their conference tournament which is full of LEDs. Like they can change the court to have ASU colors, to have Colorado colors, to have Baylor colors. It looks terrible. This Big 12 court at their tournament looks awful. And I think we've progressed too far. I just don't think we need it. I just don't think it's necessary. I just don't think that we need to have a court with everybody's colors on it. Just make a regular court. Just make a normal basketball court. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just feel like we're trying too much. We're doing too much here. We're putting resources into the wrong places. That's just my sentiment when it comes to this Big 12 basketball court. Just unnecessary. Just make a regular court. It's like when you go, for me at least, when I go and I just want a coffee. I don't need all this other junk. Just give me a coffee, man. Black coffee. Put some milk in it. Call it good. It's not that hard. Not that hard. You see the SEC, they have a normal court. And there's Auburn beating Mississippi State on that normal court, just a regular basketball court. It's not that complicated. It doesn't need to be anything more. So, I guess Northwestern beat Indiana in the Big Ten tournament today. Nice. Nice 3 for Northwestern. And I guess that game was in the Chicago at the United Center. That's cool. Northwestern going to go play Purdue. Yeah, what a tough bubble watch. I think a lot of the teams on the bubble today lost, but Auburn won. So that'll help them. They might get in. Can't say about any of those other teams. We're about 8 minutes away from the second half. So that puts us to 9:42. Montana still with a 1-point lead. That hasn't changed since halftime, believe it or not. And they still have that 1-point lead at halftime. Hasn't grown, hasn't gotten less. Good for Montana. Sargento is doing ads for American cheese. And American cheese has to be like one of the most authentically American things there is, in that it looks good, except it doesn't. Like it looks good to a regular American, but American cheese just looks like crap compared to other cheeses. I every time I see the Sargento cheese and they're like, "Hey, we're better than Kraft," and it's like that's such a low bar. Like everybody should be aspiring to be better than Kraft cheese. I don't understand why that's such a brag. You're better than the worst cheese out there. It's like being a juice company and being like, "Hey, we're better than Sunny D." Like, I should hope so. Sunny D is not really even juice, and you're gonna tell me that you're better than Sunny D. Awesome. That's not the brag you think it is. I don't know what this other medication is that they're promoting. Rinvoq? Yeah, sure, whatever. Basically, most American TV commercials are just cycling through Pizza Hut, pills, and holidays. It's basically food, drugs, and stuff you can't afford. That is essentially the American commercial experience is food, drugs, things you can't afford, and miscellaneous. An AutoZone ad, sure, okay, I guess it's not really a food or a drug or something. I mean, maybe you can't afford an oil change. I don't know, but that's essentially the American commercial experience. Like, here we go. Now we're getting which one is this one? A free 5G iPhone, another phone line, thanks to Metro by T-Mobile. Yeah, sure. Yeah, they're gonna figure out a way to screw you. And this one is the Candy Crush. Candy Crush is still getting ad time. Good lord, I did not realize Candy Crush was still popular. But I guess it kind of makes sense because I guess there's still people who are playing like Pokemon Go, and that. I mean, I don't know if Pokemon Go is the same as Candy Crush, but I guess it still has their fans, still has their demographic. Still waiting for the second half. They're showing us highlights of BYU and West Virginia, which is one of the games in March. Not a game I'm particularly interested in, but BYU did beat West Virginia by 20, which is kind of interesting. So in the Big 12, your quarterfinals: Arizona UCF, Texas Tech Iowa State, Kansas TCU, Houston BYU. Sure, whatever. I yeah, man. Whatever you say goes. Magic beat the Cavs. Sure, I guess, man. 4 minutes away from the start of the second half. I wonder what the food selections are at the Idaho Central Arena. Speaking of food commercials, I wonder if they use Sargento cheese at the Idaho Central Arena. That could be fun. All right, we're back to ads, and this is an ad for Modelo, which I guess falls under the food and drink part. Walt Disney World ad, thing you can't afford. I've never actually been to a Walt Disney spot. Been to Anaheim, but haven't been to Disneyland or Disney World, and I just don't think I need to go to Florida. I don't think that's gonna be happening anytime soon. But who knows? I could be wrong. Who knows? The most magical place on earth. Not according to MGF. That would be Long Island, New York, not this Disney World stuff. Again, a Lexus ad, a thing you can't afford. Awesome. Thank you very much. Now this is Voya. Is this for your banking? I don't know. All right. Any new viewers coming on? Just a recap. We are going on hour 10, hour 1 minute 10, 70 minutes. We're in the 70th minute of the Starch Madness live stream. Idaho is down. They are losing to Montana 31-30 in the Big Sky men's basketball conference tournament final. The winner gets an automatic bid into the March Madness tournament. Crazy, I know. Personally, I almost like to see both teams make it, but I don't think that's happening. There should be 3 teams at least in, like, the West Coast Conference, like Gonzaga, St. Mary's, Santa Clara should go in. Uh, Kinda both teams in this maybe deserve to go. I mean, I don't know about Idaho. Idaho just kinda got hot during 1 week, and that was this week. They should throw Boston University in because they had a sick, buzzer beater the other day. Um, I also think I mean, I don't know if I necessarily think this. I think Indiana should get in just because their football team won the national championship, and I think if your football team wins the national championship, that gives your basketball team an automatic spot into the college basketball tournament, which could have been interesting for the years that Alabama was shit at basketball. See, more drugs, CB1 weight gainer. That's a book. That's a pill that helps you gain weight. Yeah, okay. What do I know? Uh, I guess there are people who need to gain weight. Going back up to Starch Madness. Getting ready for the second half in Boise. There are 3 people out walking on this B-roll shot in Boise. 3 people on the street, if that, maybe. The Idaho Central Arena where this game is being played is the home of the Idaho Steelheads of the ECHL. So that's kind of cool, I guess, for all my ECHL fans out there. But they're showing this guy on Montana who's just been dominating the paint, which is great. That's always fun. All right. Tajon Sawyer from Montana, he's got 10 points, 3 rebounds. Isaiah Brickner from Idaho, he's got 9 points, 5 rebounds. See how the rest of this game goes. I think the lighting would help if not really. I don't think it would help all that much. I think it's just because I'm wearing this hat. Doo, 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 doo. And Montana starts with possession in the second half. Starch Madness, I love as the name. I did not come up with it. That's obviously the big sky. But I'm going to say something that's maybe controversial. And again, if you want to, please, let me know in chat if I'm wrong. You can subscribe and chat below. My hot take is that I think waffle fries are the best kind of fries. Although I do love sweet potato fries. Those are good. I do love a sweet potato fry, but I think waffle fries are the best kind of fries. Better than crinkle cut, better than like a restaurant style. I love me a good waffle fry. And you know who has good waffle fries, even though they're maybe not the best company? A Chick-fil-A waffle fry could solve quite a number of issues for me, if I'm being perfectly honest. Again, don't agree with everything they do as a company, as a restaurant, but the whatever they're doing with their waffle fries, good in my books. Although I do love a sweet potato fry with like a garlic aioli. Oh man, that would be so good right now. See, Santa Barbara and UC Davis are playing in the first round of their Big West championship game. We're already at the final of this. I don't know if the Big West. I don't know. Maybe it's just arena dates. I don't even know where the Big West final is. Great question. Idaho back in the lead, 32-31. This is going to be a low scoring game. This is not a high scoring basketball contest. This is going to be a low scoring game unless either team breaks out here. Maybe they do. I don't know. But again, I love the fact that we're going into the paint, making moves at the elbow, little sky hook. Oh, lovely. Lead back in Montana's favor. Missed shot there. So yeah, I guess coming up for us or for SYP, you know, again I'm still waiting. Just got to save a bit more money, get a new laptop, get a new phone. It's kind of hit me this week the slow performance on both of them. Like it all just kind of hit at once. My phone I've had for like I'm gonna say 4 or 5 years I've had my phone, so it's probably due for a replacement. And then my laptop I've had since probably 2.5 years. So I probably need to, and it's a Chromebook, and I'm asking my Chromebook to do a lot more than I should be. But um, yeah, like that's need to get a new laptop, need to get a new phone. And again, once I do that, we're gonna be churning content. We'll do more of these live streams, do more podcasts. Just you know, my laptop it is needs to be sent to a farm upstate. Like it is getting on. It is seeing better days. But that's okay. We'll get it through. You know what? We're doing a potato ad. Oh no, that's cream cheese. Philadelphia. See, again, every American ad, it's just food, drink, drugs, things you can't afford, miscellaneous. Like now we got an Ashley Furniture ad. You think I'm going to be able to afford that sectional? No shot. Now the next one is Subway. And yeah, America is not beating the allegations. That's all I'm saying. Providence beat Butler in the Big East. Providence will play St. John's. St. John's, like, see, last year I had like a half serious, half funny bracket of St. John's playing Gonzaga in the final, which was very unlikely to happen on its own. And then I think both teams lost on like the first Saturday of the tournament. It's like, cool. Okay, you guys are great. But St. John's, like, they played UConn the other day and they didn't score a bucket in the second half. Like, they were shut out for the last 18 minutes of that game. Just crazy stuff from St. John's. Women's March Madness begins March 18th. Nice. Waiting on get back into the action here. Montana, Idaho. By the way, in case you are wondering, a little fit check here. Seahawks Super Bowl champs hat. Uh, got it from Simply Seattle, a company in Seattle. I paid the unnecessary shipping and handling to get this shipped from Seattle. So this rock shout out Simply Seattle. Wearing my Scuderia Ferrari hoodie because Charles Leclerc and Hamilton, I think they finished second and third over the weekend. I did not watch the F1 race, or maybe Leclerc finished third, but I did not watch the race. I heard mixed things about it, but I am curious to watch the Chinese Grand Prix this weekend. I think that'll be fun. That should be good. Montana with a 33-32 lead. Now an extra 2 points, so it's 35-32. See, these guys are just playing for the love of the game. I don't know how much NIL is involved in Big Sky. I don't know what kind of Les Schwab ads that we're doing here. But I think these guys they really are really just doing this for the love of the game. 35-32. We're going for an hour 20 now. Nice work. In the 80th minute of the live stream. We got another 17 minutes to go, at least the game time. If you got something that you'd like to hear from me, any hot takes, any questions, subscribe. You can send a chat. Get the chat active. Now just a 1 point lead for Montana. Yeah. Again, Italy in the World Baseball Classic. I've seen the score again. Italy 9, Mexico 1. I like to know what's going on with Italy. Like, what are they doing? Like, they're beating the U.S. in baseball. They're beating Mexico in baseball. What is going on with Italy? Somebody please tell me. And then Canada beat Cuba. Like, that's the other surprising result. Like, I'm very happy that Canada going to the quarterfinals of the World Baseball Classic. Don't get me wrong, but they beat Cuba. It's like kind of surprising. Was not expecting that, if I'm honest. Big Man 3, good for Idaho. Number 0 with a balding head of hair is he's got Iowa back in the league. I don't know what his name is, but that guy might be a computer programmer. Might be getting into software engineering the way his head's balding like that. Receding hairline is what's going on there. Nice rebound there for Idaho. So Flyers beat the Caps tonight. I don't really care about the Flyers or the Capitals. I don't think either team is all that good. I don't think either team's all going anywhere. And again, the Habs beat the Sens. I don't think the Habs are making a run unless Andrew Hammond shows up, in which maybe he is. Maybe Andrew Hammond should be the goalie for the Habs or for the Sens, because I feel like he would be their best option. I don't know if you can start any of those guys right now for the Sens. 37-35 going into commercial again. So many flipping commercials. ESPN is now the home of MLB.TV. That reminds me of a great MLB.TV story. So when I was in grade 11, I had MLB.TV, and I was in geography. Geography, I think I was in. Geography 11, something like that. And I had done all my work. I finished early, all good. We were in a computer lab at the high school, and I was like, "Hey, I can't remember what her name. She was a very nice teacher, but I asked her, "Hey, would I be able to just go and have spare time in the computer lab?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine. Just don't bother anybody else." Cool. So I went over to the corner where nobody was just doing my thing, and then put on the Manners game because the Manners were playing like the Rangers or something, and it was a matinee. It was like a 12:30 start. I was just putting that on, and people were complaining about how slow the computers were in that computer lab. And as it turned out, me streaming the Manners Rangers was taking up a lot of the school's bandwidth, like a lot of the school's bandwidth. So I indirectly impacted other people in my class. I indirectly bothered them, which obviously did not mean to. I just wanted to watch a simple Manners game. I just wanted to watch Dan Vogelback, essentially, is what I wanted to do. And as a result, ruined it for others. So that was my MLB.TV experience. But that was a while ago. Like, that was years when I had it. It's just nice when you're in Canada to have it to watch Manners games, so you don't have to watch Blue Jays all the time. But if you have a Sportsnet package, you'll get quite a few ball games that aren't Blue Jays, like national games. Well, and I guess TSN has all the ESPN stuff. So I guess you have quite a few ball games, but just nice to watch baseball that isn't the Blue Jays, because there's so much Blue Jays in Canada, and I'm not a Blue Jays fan, so I'm not interested in it. But that's just me. Now showing some tournament winners of the past, or maybe just of this year. I don't know. Champ Week. Getting back to the action. But yeah, I mean, going back to baseball, I'm high on the Manners this year, if I'm perfectly honest. Like, I think the Manners, they've set the precedent of getting to the ALCS, to a game 7 of the ALCS, so I think they can do it again. I like to believe that they can do it again. I want to see them win the World Series. I think it's good to have high expectations and think that they can get the World Series. Um, I don't know. I don't know how all the other teams are going to be this year. Like, I think part of it is, like, the Manners obviously got hot at the right time, but also just the Astros fell off, the Rangers fell off. Um, the Guardians and Tigers just didn't have enough manpower to beat the Manners. The Yankees didn't have enough manpower, and the Yankees and Red Sox didn't have enough manpower to beat the Blue Jays. I think the Manners can do it this year. Like, I'm genuinely, like, believing in the Manners, which is maybe an issue and maybe going to bite me in the butt, but I don't care. I'm doubling down. I'm believing in the Manners. I trust them. They're gonna get the job done. They're gonna do it. And if the Manners do it, nobody's gonna hear from me for like forever. I'm gonna be just celebrating the hell out of a Manners World Series championship. I cannot wait. Yeah, I mean, they're probably gonna have to beat the Dodgers, which maybe they can. I don't know. And I don't know if I necessarily, like, believe in, like, the Cal Randy, Cal Rally, Randy Rosarina, whatever stuff. Like, I just have those guys, I think, back in the clubhouse, and then we don't have to talk about Cal Rally and Randy Rosarina at the World Baseball Classic. Like, I don't know. I just think I don't want to say it's a non-story. I just, like, I don't know. We just need to see when those guys are back there, how it all goes. Yeah, that's a legal screen. Idaho up 4, by the way, 41-37 with 14 minutes left in the second half. Yeah, he's moving as he's setting that pick. That's an illegal screen. But yeah, and then basically, we'll get the hockey playoffs. That's gonna be good. I don't know a lot about what's gonna happen in the NBA. I mean, my March Madness takes are, I want to go with Gonzaga and St. John's again, like I did this last year, and obviously that worked out so well, and I'm gonna go for it again. Way to go, Ian. I don't know. Maybe Michigan. I kind of think Michigan's maybe good. Maybe Duke. I know people don't want to hear that Duke is maybe competitive this year, but could be. It could be the number one seed. That's a possibility. 4-point lead for Iowa. Montana bring the ball up. Maybe one of these teams go win it. Go win the whole thing. Who knows? I don't know that I love either one of them to win their first game, if I'm completely honest. 3-pointer. Good. 43-42. Yeah. So I don't know. I think my March Madness take is probably it's gonna be like Duke, Michigan. Although when I'll have to see the bracket to believe it. And I love doing a paper bracket still. Still old school like that. Still love filling it out. I mean, with a pen and just going through. I think that's the best way. It feels so authentic. And then you carry your bracket around with you, like, in case anybody asks, you show them your bracket. That's the way, man. Idaho shooting free throws. Yeah, I again, paper bracket. You carry it around all week. You show everything. It's got to be crumpled, almost, and, like, almost to shreds by the end of, like, the week, because you have it for the week, because it's essentially your bracket is essentially good for up until, like, you leave work on Friday, essentially, is when your bracket is, you show it and how good it is. I mean, you can keep it later on for, purposes of like, yeah, but you see, if that happened, then I would have called that and then I would have been a genius. But nobody's geniuses here. So there you go. That's my deal with a paper bracket. We all can do it online and have our competitions and have the computers tell us what the results are, which is also cool. I do appreciate that. But I am a sucker for a paper bracket and filling it out by hand. That's the way, man. I love doing it. One of my favorite traditions every year. Idaho up 3. It's 45-42. Foul on the play. Yeah, that looked like a clean block. Oh, that was the foul. Yeah, okay. There's the foul. The one before looked like a clean block, and I think it was, but this is now we've caught up to it in real time. Nothing like live streaming for over 90 minutes, a 45-42 basketball game with whatever 28 minutes of game time. We're in a second half, and neither team has put up 50 points. Hey, defensive battle. Just it's all about the defense. We're here for good defense. Yeah. No good, but rebound. There it is. All right. Idaho adding to their lead. Yeah, so I might stream again maybe Friday or Saturday. Maybe Saturday morning I'll do another stream. Maybe do the America East. Wonder if there's gonna be more scoring in that one than this one. I mean, each team is doing a pretty good job getting rebounds. 27 for Idaho, 20 for Montana. That shot's off the glass. Ugh. Didn't even hit the rim. Good ball movement. 3 for Idaho. Off the rim, no good. Idaho gets their own rebound. They're gonna drive. Turn around, nobody there. Good close up on Montana. Back ball back down low. And I guess foul. Yeah, all right, man. Yeah, I guess so. So guess we're going back to commercial, are we? Yeah, we're going back to commercial. Awesome. Champ week. Love me some champ week. There you go, the Capital One Diner. That's food. You're combining food and drink with a thing you can't afford and a credit card. There we go. We're combining 2 in 1, and we're getting the, you know, Charles Barkley, Samuel L. Jackson. We're getting cool guys who love food and drink and credit cards to get you into a food, drink, and credit card situation. There you go. Well done. And then the next commercial is Wendy's. Wendy's kind of overrated. Actually, I think Wendy's is properly rated. I don't know that we all love Wendy's. Like, I don't think anybody's, clamoring for Wendy's as best fast food, nor do I think people are saying that it's the worst fast food. I think we all just agree that Wendy's is just fine. It is just a-okay. It is nothing perfect. It's nothing fancy. I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think of what the best fast food is that I really like. I do enjoy being back in Canada and grabbing some A&W. Like, the chicken is really good. I like the A&W chicken. And it's actually supposed to be good for you. Like, I don't think they put hormones or any added stuff in their chicken. Like, it's actually supposed to be good chicken, health-wise. So I'd say probably A&W is like my favorite fast food. Trying to think what my worst fast food is. What the worst is here in Canada. Ooh. Is it Tim Hortons? Maybe Tim Hortons. I did roll up the rim for the first time today. I got my first coffee and did roll up the rim. and I got to please play again. And now I feel like I'm back to being Canadian because the frustration I got of another please play again, and I only played once. Like it wasn't my another please play again. I just got to please play again, and I just got frustrated. I'm like, I never win anything with this, and that's true. I never do, and I'm just glad they brought it back on the cup because apparently they did roll up the rim on the app, and that's just wrong. That's insane. All right, now we're coming back from break here. Isaiah Brickner, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 92 minutes played in the tournament. I wonder how many games he's played. Because this is like the third game. He's playing over 30 minutes a night. That's how math works. I knew that. Smart guy over here. First free throw, no good for Idaho. Again, I gotta find out what this Idaho guy's mid-major or major is. Idaho basketball roster. Now a 6-point lead for Idaho. Brody Robery is number 0 and looks like he's like balding. He's losing his hair. And they didn't put his major on here. Maybe he's not majoring. He was just gonna keep playing basketball until he can't. Previously played for Southeastern Louisiana. Guess that's a school. Good for him. That's number 0, Brody Robery on Idaho. Who, again, looks like he's hairline receding. We have still yet to get to 50 points in this game for either team. Any team haven't even hit 50 yet. And I've been recording for over 90 minutes, and neither team has 50 points. We're gonna get to 10 minutes left in this half before somebody scores 50. No good from Idaho. Idaho has a 5-point lead. It's 48-43. Oh, big steal for Idaho. Yeah, I wonder how many of these kids are studying like computer programming, sports management. Maybe they're getting into ag. Maybe they're growing potatoes. That'd be kind of fun to learn how to do. Learn how to grow potatoes. Get into farming. Get into ag. Sure, there's a lot of room out there in Idaho or even Montana to do so. 3 for Montana. No good. But at least we've now got 50. Somebody's got 50. It's now 50-43 for Idaho. I do love the big sky country though. That is some beautiful country. The sky is beautiful. The kind of the ridges, some of the hills are just beautiful out there. Rutgers beat Minnesota today. Men's hoops. Not showing any freaking college hockey stuff. Which there's some college hockey tournaments going on right now. I think Michigan beat Notre Dame in college hockey. I think Ohio State beat Wisconsin. In Big Ten. Those are the only things I've seen. No. Penn State, I think, beat Minnesota as well in college hockey. I should stream college hockey. Do a watch along for that. That'd be fun. 7-point lead here for Idaho. Oh, Rowberry 3. Got it. Big man with a 3. And it's now a 10-point lead. Idaho's kind of running away with this now. I wonder how they sell. I wonder I don't know what the beer choice or the alcohol choice is in Idaho. Maybe he'll have a Bud Light. It's gonna be a bad day to be a Bud Light if you're Bradley Rowberry. Brody Rowberry, excuse me. Brody Rowberry with 11 points. He averages 7.7 during the season, above his average high in points, and he just knocked down that three. Like he's hit a couple big threes. Brody Rowberry, the name to know. Montana's got to get back in here somehow. There you go. There's 2 points. Yeah, Montana's gone like 5 minutes without a field goal. Jesus. The branches outside my window are I guess they want to get in because they are waving, huh? They're trying to draw attention. That was really bad. I'm sorry. Idaho, a little bit of ball movement. It's an 8-point game. You get the Rowberry, he can't hold on to it, but a foul on the play. Now we're going back to commercial because, of course, we are. Yeah, Missouri State upset Liberty in the Conference USA Championship quarterfinal game today. That's crazy. Missouri State is I think they're making a bit more of an effort in their athletic department. Like their football team has now moved up from FCS to FBS. I think their hockey team they're trying to make into a Div 1 team. But cool story, Missouri State beating Liberty. Again, thank you very much to everybody who's joined, who's just tuning in for the first time. We're coming up to 1 hour 43 at some point here. We're in commercial once again of the Big Sky Men's Basketball Conference Tournament Final between Idaho and Montana. Idaho is leading 53-45, and we're just getting ads. Just getting bombarded with ads. Just great. Lovely stuff. Yeah. Now we're getting hair regrowth from Bosley. See, these guys don't even like the before and after pictures don't even look like the same person. That's all I'm saying. That guy's on a boat with a gal. No, he's riding a motorcycle. He should be wearing a helmet. Yeah, like those aren't real people. They're not the same people, at least. Before and after is not the same people. I don't know. Okay, that guy might be. But I don't think that guy is much of a difference. Still waiting. Okay. Come on. There we go. Money Williams. Great name, by the way. Money Williams has just 11 points tonight. He had 32 points in the semis, and he had 40 points in the third round game. Hits 83 points, tie a Big Sky tournament record. Good for Money Williams. That is cash money. He is cash money. That's kind of lame. They're using a money ball header. All right, that's surely they can't be as lame as we are. Rowberry with a free throw. Now 54-45 for Idaho. 9-point difference. Pelicans beat the Raptors tonight. That's not a good loss to the Raptors. You never want to lose to the Pelicans. And the Knicks came back to be the Jazz, which is good. The Knicks were down like 20 in the first quarter to the Jazz, which that's no bueno. You never want to be 20 points down to the Jazz either. But at least the Knicks came back. Raptors did not. I think I said this earlier. My NBA finals picks are like Spurs and Knicks. No, Spurs and Pacers. I think it's Spurs Pacers or not Pacers, Pistons. I think the Spurs are going to play the Pistons. Rematch of the what was it? 2005, 2004 NBA championship between the Spurs and the Pistons. Spurs beat OKC. Pistons beat the Knicks. Those are my NBA predictions. Those are my NBA finals thoughts coming, for whatever the postseason has in store. It is now a 10-point game. Idaho leading 57-47. That's a big three. First free throw is good from Money Williams, and deficit is now 9. I will say Eastern Washington made this a little bit closer yesterday than tonight's game. But there's another free throw. 57-49. Yeah, so that's got 6.5 minutes left. We'll see if there's a comeback here from Montana. Trip to the March Madness tournament on the line. I hope they don't expand the actual March Madness tournament because I know they were talking about going from like 68 teams, whatever it is now, to 80 something, 90 something, and it's just not necessary. You just don't need it. If anything, we should be making like the college football playoff like the March Madness system. That's my takeaway. That's my hot take. There's just no separation. There's a 3, no good. 10-point lead. Idaho has the ball. I'm not trying to make it sound like football, but Montana needs to get some buckets and some stops, and they're not really getting either right now. There's a stop. See, Starch Madness on the court. See, we didn't come up with that. That's unfortunate. A Big Sky title, which is funny. That's good because there's Starch Madness for the Big Sky. There's Arch Madness for the Missouri Valley because they have their game in their tournament games in St. Louis, and then there's March Madness. So if you have anything that's Arch anything, you can fit in with college basketball. Arch Madness is going to be next year when Arch Manning's getting drafted. Anyway, we're going back to commercial. It's 61-51 for Idaho. So we're getting another timeout from playing basketball. We got the SEC men's tournament on here. Ole Miss upset Texas. Speaking of Arch Madness, Missouri Kentucky might be a fun game tomorrow. Tennessee Auburn could be a fun game. Look at all the band kids representing Idaho. Dutch Bros. I didn't realize Dutch Bros went all the way out to Idaho. They have some good coffee, decent coffee, Dutch Bros. Anyways, it's 61-51, 5:09 here. We're now both teams are finally over 50 points. Idaho's over 60 points. Idaho's got to hold this lead here, and I don't know if they're going to. Montana's got to make some shots here, and they don't do it there. Can't go away with an empty possession like that. Spin move, foul. Idaho's going to the free throw line. Yeah, if you're Montana, you can't go with an empty possession at that point. Just can't. Assuming this game takes another 10 minutes, we're going to be streaming for 2 hours, which is not bad. I'll say. Not the worst way I've spent 2 hours. It's an 11-point lead for Idaho. Idaho gets the rebound after a missed free throw. Air ball. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, and Montana is down by 11. I don't know that Montana is coming back in this. That's a bit of a deficit. Clippers beat Minnesota 153-28. What's going on with Minnesota? T-Wolves are struggling. Hmm. Don't love that for Minnesota, if I'm honest. T-Wolves really need some help. Montana needs to get a bucket, something, anything. There's a foul. Okay, so at least you're going to the free throw line. That kid on Idaho is tall or short. That kid on Idaho is short. I'll be honest, not the most exciting game that I possibly could have streamed, but gotta show support to the mid majors. Everybody wants to talk about all the big schools, the Michigans, the Dukes, UConns, whoever, all the big schools. I love that we're here for the mid majors. I love that we're supporting Idaho, Montana. Maybe we'll do the Big E or the America East, and we'll do Vermont and UMBC on Saturday morning. Could be an option. I wish I was having as much, joy as that Idaho mascot's having. That guy looks like he's having a blast. But again, I don't know what a vandal is. Is a vandal like a miner? Because he's dressed up like a miner, like somebody who's going for gold. But I don't know that anybody does that in Idaho. Is there mining in Idaho? I don't know enough about Idaho. Idaho has a 10-point lead anyways here. 4 minutes to go. Yeah, I don't know enough about Idaho. Last time I went to Idaho, I slept through the entire way. So I missed Idaho. I saw Montana though. I saw Glacier Park, and that was sick. I enjoyed Glacier Park. Another foul. Idaho's lead is now down to 9 as we go back to commercial break. That looks to be the Idaho State Capitol, I would guess, by that building that they're showing on the screen. Xavier beat Marquette in the Big East today. Xavier's going to play UConn. Georgetown beat DePaul. We knew that. Georgetown is going to play Villanova. Classic Big East rivalry there, Georgetown and Villanova. Iowa beat Maryland in a Big Ten tournament. Yeah, sure. Okay. Cool beans. Iowa playing Ohio State. Nice. Washington beat USC in a Pac-10 matchup in the Big Ten. Washington won in overtime. Washington's going to play Wisconsin. Battle of the W's. Northwestern beat Indiana in the Big Ten tournament. Northwestern's going to play Purdue. Yeah, I don't think if you're Indiana basketball and you're a bubble team and you just lost to the 15th ranked team in your conference, yeah, I don't think you're getting it. Yeah, I don't think you're moving on, buddy. Rutgers is playing UCLA in the third round. Rutgers could beat UCLA, even though I think UCLA is actually having a pretty decent year. Hilton ad. Now we're getting to the big sky. Back to the big sky. Now I'm craving some fries or potatoes. It's more just big potato marketing in college basketball. Starch madness. Bracketology presented by Lowe's, and then the NCAA Women's Selection Special presented by Capital One Sunday on ESPN. I will probably miss some of the Selection Sunday. Might see some of the Women's Selection Sunday. That's also going to coincide with when AEW Revolution is going to be on, and I'm probably going to be watching AEW Revolution instead. Oklahoma beat South Carolina today in the SEC tournament. Didn't say who Oklahoma was going to play next. All right, 62-53. Idaho leads with 3:47 to go here at the Idaho Central Arena in Boise. Free throw is good. It's now 63-53. Second free throw on the way here for Idaho. And it is good as well. So lead back up to 11 for the Vandals. Montana really needs to just get some points. Anything really. You can't have an empty possession. Knockdown. Yeah. Turnover Montana back to Idaho. I think this game we might be cooked here. If you're a Grizzlies fan, I think you're maybe cooked. See if Idaho can add on to their lead here. Ooh, what? Oh my God! Beautiful handle, just could not finish. Idaho's getting all the rebounds, and there's a huge foul. Spin move to the basket, couldn't finish. Rebound from Idaho, blocked. Other rebound picked up by Idaho, snagged at the same time as a Montana guy, and then they both went down. So I guess that means it's Idaho's ball. 3 minutes to go, 64-53. Yeah, maybe we'll stream again on Saturday. Maybe Saturday morning. Make it a little bit more lively. Might have a cup of coffee. Might have a bit more energy. Might have a better game. Again, if you're just tuning in, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like the video. Any support is greatly appreciated. It's 64-53 Idaho with 2:46 left in the Big Sky Championship. This looks like Idaho's game to lose at this point. Montana, I feel like, hasn't scored in forever. Just waiting to see if the Vandals can hold on, which, again, I don't know what a Vandal is. If you know what a Vandal is, please let us know in chat. Missed 3 there from Montana. Idaho picks up the rebound. Oh, that's a foul. Credit to Montana. They're still diving for loose balls here. Now we got another timeout on the floor again. It looks like it. The Idaho band looks like they're having a good time. The Vandal cheer squad. Highlight of our guy Brody Roberry. He got a highlight package of him. He got a left-handed layup and then a 3 and a left-handed rebound and put it back home. This guy's gonna be the star of the game, I would think. Knocked out a couple big threes. He had a couple huge rebounds. He's already balding and he's like still a senior or whatever. See if I can find his stats again. Brody Roberry. Yeah. I'll figure it out later. Inbound. Two guys going on. Getting down into the clutch. Yeah, you're double teaming guys now if you're Montana. 2:20 to go. It's an 11-point lead for Idaho. 64-53, 2:20. I will say, shout out the Idaho women's basketball team. They won the Big Sky Championship in the women's tournament against Montana State earlier. It's Idaho women's first NCAA tournament appearance since 2016. So good for the women's team of Idaho. See if the men's team can keep up and can add to that. See if the men can be as good as the women. And second free throw, no good for Idaho. Montana ball. They'll take it back the other way. They gotta hurry. Okay, come on. There's 2 points and a foul. So they're gonna go to the line and shoot one. So he's driving inside on Roberry, gets a shot up, and I guess Roberry, yeah, I don't know. They'll call fouls on anything in basketball. I don't necessarily know or agree or whatever. Free throw on the way, no good. And Idaho picked it up. It's now a 9-point game. How is that not a foul? Ah, God. All right. Now we're in the final 2 minutes. Now we're going to just get to fouling guys and free throws. And I know I said I'd stream this whole game, and I am a man of my word. I am unlike 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes live, they don't actually go for 60 minutes. I'm going to go until this game ends. Free throw good for Idaho. 65-55. So 10-point lead. So Brody Roberry, he is a senior. I don't know what that means now, like how old that makes him now. Won the okay. Yeah, I have no idea how old this guy is. Or at least they don't show it on his page, his team page. See if ESPN has something. 6'11", 255. He's a senior. I don't know how old seniors are. Like, is that 22? Is he a 22-year-old senior? Does that make him born in 2004? I don't know. By the way, we're going 2 hours on this, and not a bad 2 hours. Probably could be a little bit better, but it wasn't even that entertaining of a game, if I'm honest, for the most part. It picked up in the second half. It was slow going. If there's anything else that you'd like to chat or anything you want to end this stream with here in the next 1 minute 44 game time, let me know in the chat. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Any support is greatly appreciated. I guess Idaho called a timeout the last time out. Idaho doesn't have any more timeouts here. I don't know if that's gonna be if that means a ton. It's a 9-point game. It shouldn't theoretically. Yeah. So Montana's got to get three threes in the minute 44. So not impossible for Montana. As we're back on the drawing board. Montana won the Big Sky Championship last year. Montana State won 3 years prior to that. Eastern Washington won in 2021. That's what I love about the Big Sky country. It's just a reminder of like there's Idaho and Idaho State, Montana and Montana State. It's all these countries that or all these states that you forget about, and it's cool as hell. Again, an underrated part of the country. If you haven't gone through the Big Sky country, go through Big Sky country. So we got 1 minute 44 in the second half. Idaho up by 9. Trying to close this game out. They don't have any more timeouts. You got to find somebody. There you go. Put it home. That is probably going to be the dagger. Inbound play, coast to coast. The dunk. Now an 11-point lead for the Vandals. Montana has some work to do. Put up a 3. Good. It's now an 8-point game with 1:26 to go. I said it was the dagger. Maybe it's not the dagger, but now we got another timeout here on the floor. Whew, okay. I don't know if you can just draw the same play that you just draw it up if you're Idaho. That was a great inbound pass, like a LeBron James to D Wade type pass, or D Wade to LeBron, whoever you want to call it. Pass down court and then a huge dunk to cap it off, and then a 3 back the other way for Montana. Isaiah Brickner, 20 points. He's got 10 rebounds, so he's got a double-double today for the Vandals. It's not over yet, but it's like it's still like still a bit of a deficit here. Just watching my branches, just not as active as they were earlier, but still moving. It's just windy. It's it's that time of year. It's been cold here, like cold like it wants to snow, but it hasn't snowed in Victoria. But I know it tried to. Sure felt like it the other day. All right, we're drawing up all these plays. See if we can make some magic happen. It's still a 3-possession game. That's a great inbound pass, actually. Great play call. Trying to kill more time. There's a foul. So now we're getting back into free throws. Great inbound pass. So basically, like for Idaho, they had a guy trying to inbound the ball, and he passed it to his teammate who he went out of bounds. So the ball is still technically out of bounds. The ball hasn't actually been inbounded yet. And then he inbounded it back to his teammate who passed it over to him. Like it was a good little kind of boom boom, little bang bang inbounds play that got the ball inbounded, and then they finally got over half court. But it's 69-60. Second free throw on the way here for Idaho. Still a 3-possession game. So if he misses, which he doesn't, so it's now a 4-possession game. It's 10-point difference with a minute and a chunk of change left. And there's a 3. Nope. Foul on Idaho, though, on the rebound. So we'll go for free throws. That's what I love so much about college basketball is the free throw after free throw after free throw. It's such a time killer. Not actually, like not real time. It drags on. Game time, it slows right down. Free throw good. It's now a 9-point deficit. This is where I'm trying to give Montana the respect they deserve. I don't know they necessarily deserve it. They're down 9. Shout out Money Williams though. He's got 91 points, I believe, a Big Sky tournament record. He's putting the team on his back. So it's 70-62, a minute and 6. Idaho has the ball, trying to inbound it. There's a foul. Ooh, got dragged. Idaho back to the free throw line. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just waiting to just kind of fast forward through this, to sim through the rest of this. Both similar free throw wise. Idaho 17-22, Montana 16-21. Free throw miss, so now it's 8 points. Still 8 points. Second one good, so now it's 9 points. So you need 3 threes if you're Montana. Like you need 3 lucky shots in a row. That's a no call we're gonna play on. There's 2. Now it's 7-point difference. Another foul. 50 seconds left. Just waiting for something. I don't know. It was a weird high pick, but a guy tumbled over and the guy went on and scored. And now it looks like we have another timeout. Because why wouldn't we? Well, we're getting down into the final seconds here of the Big Sky Championship. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in who did. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed and has liked the video. It's greatly appreciated. We'll maybe do another stream, maybe something a little different. Maybe do something on Friday or Saturday, depending on what's all going on. If you haven't already, please like the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Any support is greatly appreciated. It's been a solid 2 hours plus watching Big Sky basketball and a game where it didn't feel like anybody got to 50 points forever. And now we're at 71-64 here with 50 seconds left. Idaho trying to clinch a spot in the March Madness tournament, which they have not done, I believe, in 30 years. Trying to knock off Montana. Well, again, I don't know if it's necessarily knocking off because Idaho has a better regular season record, but Montana was better in conference. Now we're looking at time. Each of the times right. Sure, man. Whatever. The time is fine. I can give my plugs again if you want, if anybody cares. Again, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Follow us on SYP Pod on Instagram. If you want to listen to some of our podcast appearances, you can listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. All right. Still waiting for time check. That guy got a big hat. You know why it's funny? Because it's a larger hat than most. Bigger hat than most. $71, 64. We now have 56.2 seconds left on the clock. Wind is coming up outside my place. Free throw, good. Makes it an 8-point game. 72-64. Next free throw, good. It's now a 9-point game. It's 73-64. Montana working quick. Montana driving. And basket, good. It's back down to 7. But at some point, if you're Montana, you got to start, shooting threes. I guess that's a foul on the inbound pass. Back to the free throw line. There's got to be a better way to end games than this. Like, surely there's got to be a better way than just foul the free throw, back at it. I really should have just been calculating how much real time we've been wasting just doing this back and forth. See, that free throw is good. Back to an 8-point deficit for Montana. Free throw not good. Rebound Montana. Going back the other way, the Grizzlies hurrying fast, and they lose possession. The Vandals pick it up, and they're going to kill more clock. And there's a foul with 37.2 left. Idaho up by 8. They're going to go back to the line. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a tough possession loss for Montana. It's huge for Idaho. Gotta adjust my carpet a little bit here. Ooh. Need to flatten that out. Again, thank you to everybody who tuned in to join, who have tuned in over the 2 hours that we've been recording, that we've been live streaming. Montana ball here, time winding down. 3 on the way, not even close. Idaho ball, shot clock down. There's a foul, 24.6, and that's probably the game. 9-point lead for Idaho. Shot clock turned off. I think the Vandals are going to do it, folks. Yeah, I think the Idaho Vandals are going to be Big Sky champions. And free throw, good. Now a 10-point lead for Idaho. 76-66. Free throw, good again. It's 77-66. 3-pointer, no good. Knocked around. Another 3-pointer, not good. Out of bounds. Idaho ball. 15 seconds remaining. And there it is. Over half. A little bit of pushing and shoving. And the Idaho Vandals have won the 2026 Big Sky Men's Basketball Conference Tournament Championship. Idaho is going dancing, folks. The Vandals are going to the big dance as they are Big Sky champions. Congratulations to Idaho. Congratulations to the Idaho women's team who won earlier today. Congratulations as well to Montana for getting to the tournament final. That's still impressive to get there. Idaho, they found a way, powered through, made their shots when they needed to, and Montana just did not have enough. But congrats to Idaho, and that's Starch Madness, folks. I hope all the hundreds of people at the Idaho Central Arena in Boise are thrilled. Um, yeah, what a great stream. What a great game. Thank you again very much, everybody who watched. Greatly appreciated. Again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's greatly appreciated. Like this video if you haven't already. We'll maybe do another stream on Friday or Saturday. Who knows? We'll let you know when we do. Uh, in the meantime, thank you again for watching. Greatly appreciated. Can't wait to chat with you guys again soon. Peace out.